Good afternoon, YouTube. It's freezing cold out. It is Saturday morning, and we're still waiting on a part. The storms down through the East Coast really put a damper on everything. I'm waiting on the coolant bypass blocker plate. It's supposed to be here in the mail today between 12 and 3, but I have to work. So we're gonna run up to the shop real quick and get everything prepped. Up pipes there, down pipes there, gaskets, I'm hoping bolts. We got to drain a little more coolant out, blow some coolant out of some threaded holes, whatever. Big shout out to Cole. I've been driving the L5P all week to get to work, so appreciate the younger brother helping me out. All right, we got parts. Here's the up pipe, which, okay, so we didn't get new bolts. We got new gaskets. Where do I want to put this? I guess I'll do that now. So new gaskets, that's good. I want to say this came from SPE Lab. I mean, the welds look solid. So down pipe is also here, and it looks like Connor ordered the wrong one. So you have your two sensors on top, normal, and then you have your 9th injector, which I bought the delete kit for. I mean, I guess I could put it back in, but I spent like $42 on, if you see it, that tiny little plug in there. And that basically goes in the return line from the CP4, and then you take the banjo bolt out on your supply line and cut the gaskets, whatever, thread a bolt back in it. Very simple. So I'm probably gonna look for a bung to put in the downpipe to block that off, or if I can't find something, then I'll probably just put the 9th injector back in it. I mean, it's deleted, so it's turned off, but I was just gonna get rid of some plumbing while I was in there. So parts are here for this. The other part I'm waiting for, like I said, is the return for the coolant, which I don't think I have a light on me, but basically directly on top is that hole where the coolant is. So what I wanted to do today, since that part's not going to be here till, I don't know, somewhere between 12 and 3, is get everything prepped. Prime example, coolant. Got to mix coolant. We lost a lot, and usually filter it out, put it back in. I'm just not going to screw around with that today. So get gaskets, bolts, all that cleaned up, get some anti-seize out, to where either tonight when I get done work or tomorrow morning I can come in here and just throw this thing back together and be done with it, because I'm really tired of not having my truck. So we're gonna get in there, soak up some coolant, blow out the bolt hole. So I'm gonna throw this over. Oh yeah, good view. So that bolt hole right there on the left, if you don't blow the coolant out of that and you go to thread a bolt in it, the chances of it seeping up around your threads and coming out is basically slim to none. So you need to blow that out, then thread your bolt in. Otherwise you're risking cracking all around that. So we're gonna soak some of that coolant up right there, bring the level down, blow that hole out, clean everything up around there, and then when that plug gets here, I can just slide it in, bolt it down, and then the up pipe goes in, the down pipe goes in. I mean, it's super simple. And then we just got to reassemble the top of the motor, which is pretty quick. This right here is what I was talking about with the 9th injector. That banjo bolt right there, you pull this out, this plumbing line, all that line comes out. Oh, light just died. And it runs over to here. You get rid of all that, all this bullshit. It runs down to the ninth injector. It all comes out. So I'm gonna try and find a bung to block that on the downpipe, because I would like to get rid of all this extra. Woo! Okay, so I blew that bolt hole out. I was gonna blow some of the coolant out, but I'm gonna have to drain the level down to do so. But that's blown out. The other thing I forgot that you have to do, because there's this tab that bolts onto the old up pipe. It has a bracket welded to it, which is right here. So we have to cut these welds off, smash this off, and then this will bolt on with the new up pipe, and then you can thread your bracket for your down pipe back into this. So we got to get that cut off. Smack it with a hammer. This is what we need. This is going to go just like on the old one, around the downpipe. So the only thing we're waiting on right now is that plug. Everything else is ready to go for the most part. So we'll see you when the parts get here. Probably tonight or tomorrow. I want to touch base here before I take off, head to work. The new downpipe doesn't come with the donut gasket, and it doesn't come with bolts. So I just pounded the studs out of the old downpipe, which is over here on the bench. So I pounded those out, and they came out easy. But here's that donut gasket that you're going to need. So I'm going to get in here with a small hammer and just lightly go around this and get it off without destroying it, and then put it on the new downpipe. Okay, just like that. It came off really easy. Now this will go right there on that flange. So I'm going to press that on quick. And then I'm going to get out of here, and we'll get back to it. Good morning, everybody. It is 8:30 Sunday morning. Yesterday, the part I've been waiting on, that's supposed to be here 5 days ago, came in. This is the coolant return on the back of the bell housing blocker plate. It's just a piece of CNC metal with a rubber O-ring. You can order it off 100 different sites. I got this on eBay because it was supposed to be here on Tuesday. Didn't happen, but it's here now. So I also picked up some 7/16 by 2 bolts, because I put the studs in that downpipe yesterday and they're loose, and I don't really feel like welding them, so we're going to bolt that on. Yeah, time to get this truck back together. It's been down for 10 days, so we'll get to it. Well, good news is we waited however many days on a part that doesn't fucking work. So I knew this as soon as I pulled it out of the box by looking at it. I'm hoping that it's just a assembly issue, but this O-ring that's on here it's way too small. I mean, like, way too small. It doesn't even fit in the gap correctly, and it's not out past the metal, it's inside it. So I knew that was going to happen. We have some more rings here, thank God. I'm going to try and find one that fits it and then put it back in. As soon as I tightened it down, I watched it, all the antifreeze just weep right around it. So try it again. I just want to show you guys the difference here. So these are metric gaskets. The kit over here, this is the size of like a 210. So you could see that it wasn't filling up the gap and it was flush with the metal. This is a 212. See how it sticks out past the metal and it's filling the entire gap? I'm assuming that during assembly they fucked up, put the wrong gasket on. Connor actually just had an LML down in Florida do the same exact thing my truck did. He ordered the same parts, waiting on the same part. He's supposed to have this part today as well. So when he gets it, he's going to check and see if it was an issue on their end or if I just got fucked like usual. So we're gonna put this in. This shouldn't leak. It should sit down and way better. So go try this. A lot better, I think. I mean, I think you guys can see it. That little black plate down there. Right there, that's all it is. It snapped in 10 times better. I mean, you actually had to press it down in and it snapped around. There's a bevel in there. And just keep an eye around this for about 5 minutes. And if it's leaking, you'll see it because there's still enough antifreeze level in the truck. It'll weep around that seal if it's leaking, which is what was happening the first time. So give it a minute. I took the air compressor, sprayed all that off, and then you can just watch and see if it leaks. But other than that, now it's time to slide an up pipe in, finally. I forgot to hit record halfway through this. Flanges are in. There is a shiny side and like a matte finish side. The matte finish side goes towards your manifold. There's also a bevel, and that goes towards your up pipe. And then don't forget your bracket for your down pipe to bolt to. So make sure that gets put on too. And then get in here and start tightening it up. Okay, up pipe's installed. Brackets on, 3 bolts on top. Good to go. So now everything's wrapped up on for coolant and up pipe wise. Now we're gonna go to down pipe. I didn't torque these bolts. They're factory bolts for the up pipes. I didn't torque them. I think it's supposed to be 18 foot-pounds, but I just went with really, really snug because I know how tight they were coming off. So somewhere in the middle. It's not going to leak. If it does leak, we have a gasket issue or something else. So now we're going to get the down pipe put in. I didn't find a bung for this 9th injector. So for now, of course, it's getting put back in, and I'll just keep the part for the delete, and I'll order an actual bung that fits the down pipe, and then we'll pull all that off at a later date. But yeah, now we'll slide the down pipe up in. Oh, baby. Maybe we won't just slide it up in. Yeah, we'll turn it. Wow, that's tight. Actually, it's a little bit. Oh, that's fucking cool. Okay. Well, the down pipe is hitting the up pipe. So I don't know if you can see way up top where the flange is for the V-band. See how there's a gap on my side? And we're hitting the up pipe right here. Now, if I slide this out, it still gives me a gap up there. So we're gonna go top side, get the V-band on, and just finger tighten it. All right, so down pipe's in. It's a bit of a pain in the ass. You gotta fight the V-band and the down pipe. If you don't have somebody to help you, it kind of sucks. But so V-band's on, down pipe is loose. So we're gonna go down to the bottom and make sure this tab that's on this lines up with our bracket on the up pipe. And then we'll put all these sensors back in, put the 9th injector back in, get everything buttoned up, and then we are gonna reassemble the top side of the motor and say a little prayer that everything's fixed. And I'm gonna rush through this because I still gotta go work afternoons today. All right, up pipe in, down pipe in, exhaust is connected. Everything's tight. 9th injector's in, we gotta tighten that and then put the 2 sensors in on top. And then I'm putting the top end back together, intake. Really, it's just the turbo mouthpiece, the rest of the bridge. Okay guys, top motor's back together. Everything's installed, everything's plugged back in, intake's on, intake horn's tightened down. All my connectors are together. All the sensors are back in for now. Y bridge to cold side intake. So now we're just gonna fill it up with coolant. I got some concentrate, Dex Cool. We're gonna get that mixed up in there and then fill the truck up, check for leaks. Run your hand up behind the up pipe, check for leaks around there behind the turbo, down on the down pipe, all that good stuff. All right, it's the moment of truth. Everything's together, buttoned up, coolant, pretty good. I'm gonna set you guys down back here. So, I mean, this thing's always had a stock downpipe in it, so very minimal change in sound is usually what happens. But we'll show you back there for the first startup. I'm gonna run up through here, check everything out, and hope we're good. Seems to be all right so far. Don't feel any leaks. Everything's looking good up here. Put a little pressure in it. I think we fixed it. Oh God, I hope so. The only thing we gotta do is we gotta clear the check engine light. That was, I started it with everything off so the mass airflow sensor wasn't plugged in. That's not a big deal. Plug the scanner in, clear the codes. It's pretty good. I'm gonna do a couple heat cycles on this and then check my bolts, make sure they're still snug. But other than that, up pipe and down pipe, 10 days later waiting on fucking parts. Connor just did this job down in Florida and I think he said like 3.5 hours, which is about what it would take, you know, if you're not riding a struggle bus. And here we are. So I'll see you guys in the truck and we'll get a little take on how all this feels and sounds. All right, that's gonna wrap this one up. No leaks, full boost pressure, no stupid noise. Success. 10 days long to get success, but it worked. So we'll catch you on the next one.